In this video, we are going to be talking about how you can grow your presence on LinkedIn. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Afzal Hussain. You can find out a bit more about me through the social media links below, or you can check out my website, which is www.afzalhussain.com. If you need advice on CVs, cover letters and career consulting, make sure you check out CV Doctor, official cvdoctor.com. That's where I can personally help you get further in the application process. Now, in today's video, we are going to be primarily focusing on how you can grow your presence on LinkedIn and why that's very important to do so. First and foremost, why is it important to grow your presence on LinkedIn? Throughout university and throughout the world of work, I made it a thing to keep using LinkedIn and grow my personal brand, grow my profile by sharing relevant content, interesting content and value add content to those more junior to me or students or graduates, whatever it might be, because I thought, you know what, LinkedIn more than anything, it's a great platform to share career related advice and hints and tips. And so I used it, and over time my profile has grown, or my following has grown to over 40,000 followers. I've realized that there's lots of benefits to having a large network. Not only the fact that you can reach out to a lot of industry leaders and professionals that you aspire to be in their positions, or people that you want to work with, or if you need something, you might be able to reach out to people to connect with them, or you might be able to connect other people with people in your network. So there's lots of benefits, and we'll go into that in a bit more detail in a few minutes. But more than anything, why is it important for you to focus on growing your LinkedIn presence? Three main reasons. The first of which is recruiters are on LinkedIn. So if you're a student or a graduate watching this video, there are hundreds of thousands of recruiters on LinkedIn, and they are on LinkedIn looking for students and graduates like you in order to give you jobs and interviews. Because every time you get a job or an interview, or if you get an offer from a company that's been referred by the recruiter gets a bonus or a placement fee. And so it's in your interest to be on LinkedIn, because there's recruiters who can help you get top jobs. That's reason number one. Reason number two is the fact that growing your network can only benefit you. There's no harm in growing your network. So when you grow your network, you will have access to more professionals, access to more students, access to more individuals across different industries. Not just banking and finance professionals, but you'll have access to people in the world of tech, fintech, healthcare, whatever it might be, different industries. And naturally that increases the chances of you opening doors to opportunities. So expanding your network is like expanding your horizons, and there can only be good that comes from it. So that's reason number two. In addition to expanding your network to benefit you, expanding your network can actually benefit your friends and your networks, because you might be able to help someone out because you've got someone in your network that might be able to benefit them. So it's not always just about you. And last but not least, personal branding, the third reason. Managing your personal brand in this day and age, in an age of Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, social media, where it's so prevalent and it's so dominant in the world of hiring, it's very important to manage your personal brand. So if you've got a nice professional brand on LinkedIn, when people search your name on the internet, as they do when they're going through an assessment center for you or an interview process, you want them to see interesting content that you're putting out there. You want them to associate you with good things, and so LinkedIn's a great medium to do that. So how exactly do you grow your brand on LinkedIn? Now, there are lots of ways which we're going to talk about, but the first of which is sharing regular updates. Now, there are four main ways to share regular updates. The first of which is sharing interesting or relevant news. You know, what's going on in the world? Have you read a piece of news that's super interesting and it might be useful or interesting or beneficial for your audience to read? The second of which doesn't necessarily have to be news, it could be interesting content. Is there a new technology that a startup or a company has created and it's revolutionizing a piece of the market? Interesting content in general does well. It shows people, you know, okay, this individual shares interesting content on a regular basis, let me connect with them or let me follow them, because it allows me to learn as well. The third thing you can share in your regular updates could be help, advice, guidance for students or graduates or young people, those who might want to be in a similar position to you but lack the guidance or help. LinkedIn is a great platform to share that advice. Everyone's got lots of knowledge up here, and a lot of people are scared to share that with the world, especially on LinkedIn, because it could be intimidating to hit that post button. But If you've got advice that you believe could be helpful, look, my rule is the power of one. If I can share anything and it helps one person, it's done its job. Any more than one, it's a bonus, right? So you could share status updates or anything that might help someone. And last but not least, personal updates. If you've achieved something, shout about it. No one's gonna shout about your achievements for you. You need to, as much as it might sound arrogant or narcissistic, it's important to, you know, not brag, but sometimes it's important to share with the world what you're up to, or if you've worked so hard on something and you've experienced failure, share that. Or if you've turned the failure around to succeed. Personal updates, your journey, whatever it might be, it's worth sharing, because someone might read it and take away a key lesson from it. Someone might read it and feel like they're in a similar position or situation, and so it's nice to know that other people are going through similar things. But more than anything, it makes you human, right? Oftentimes, the more vulnerable you can be, the more people resonate. Usually the best connections, the best friendships, the best relationships come from a common vulnerability where two people engage with each other because they understand each other. They're not pretending to be something they aren't. They aren't putting on facades. They aren't faking it. They aren't just this perfect polished individual. So keep it real and post personal updates to an extent that you feel you are comfortable with. Next, in order to grow your brand or your presence on LinkedIn, everyone's got something they're interested in. So for me, I'm interested in entrepreneurship, technology, business, and all of those types of things. And reading books, etc., etc. So what I used to do is write an article on the books that I read in the last month, or write an article on productivity, whatever it might be. So leverage that function on LinkedIn where you can write articles. Find something you're interested in. The content doesn't need to be too deep. It doesn't need to be extremely lengthy. Write an article on something you're interested in, and the more consistent you are, the better. And just pump out articles. And naturally, when you post these articles, people will see you and realize, you know, this person, they're doing this career, but they're interested in XYZ. A post is it's limited to just over 1,000 characters, I think. But an article allows you to expand a bit more, and it allows you to just freely write down stuff and publish it in a public domain or a private domain, depending on your settings. Naturally, if you're writing articles, LinkedIn will start pushing your profile so more people can see it, and you have a greater chance of resonating or connecting with individuals who might share similar interests in the articles that you write about. Anything I say today, whether it's posting status updates, sharing content, whether it's news, etc., or writing articles and publishing them, the key is consistency. You have to continually do it. You can't just do it once every 5 months, because there's no consistency, and so your brand won't be growing. You need to be consistent, as with everything. Next way to increase your brand or grow your presence on LinkedIn. So there are lots of groups on LinkedIn. Join the ones you find interesting. So if I am interested in entrepreneurship or fintech, I could go on the search box, search for entrepreneurship or fintech, click on groups, filter it, and then find groups that I might be interested in. Request to join those groups, and when you're accepted into those groups, you know, that's a group with individuals who are directly interested in an area that you're interested in. And so there's lots of networking opportunities there. In addition to that, if you are writing articles that are relevant for that group, you can post your articles there as well as on your main feed, and it just allows you to gain access or be around a lot more individuals who are closer to your interests, and so that proves or provides a better networking opportunity to connect with individuals in that domain. Joining groups is very important. If you do join groups, your profile is likely to get 5 times more views. If you've got a profile photo, your profile will get 21 times more views. So these small things are very important, but don't just join groups and spam them with all your content. Be conscious of what people want to see. Don't overdo it, because before you know it, they might block you. Okay, none of this will work. You won't be able to grow your brand, grow your presence, grow your profile on LinkedIn and your follower base or connections with different people and just network in general if you aren't engaging. So engagement is key. When you're out with your friends, you don't just sit around the table and no one talks to each other, although sometimes that happens nowadays because everyone's busy on their phones. Everyone is talking, right? At some point, everyone's talking. You don't go to a client meeting and just sit there in silence. You engage, you talk, you communicate. And so similar thing with all of social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you want to build a connection with your audience, you need to engage. So if anyone comments on any of your posts or your content, make sure you send them a reply, like the comment if you like the comment, and just have a conversation, engage, because it shows people that you're putting effort and time into this relationship. And so it means a lot to you that people are watching your content or reading your content, sharing it, liking it, etc. So always engage. Engagement is key. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a challenge, 4 challenges. First one is I want you to polish up your LinkedIn profile. If you haven't already, check out this video here, top tips on how to create a standout LinkedIn profile. That's first challenge. After you've done that, I want you to publish your first status update or your first post. Now, the first one is always the most intimidating, especially for those of you in the world of work. You might think, oh, what are my colleagues gonna think? Or what are these people gonna think? How are these people gonna react? Honestly, it's the hardest one to press post on the first one. But once you do it and you realize people are nice, people like it, people communicate with you, people appreciate it, people share it within their network, people send you connection requests, you realize, there's a positive feedback loop. And more than anything, a lot of people will gain value from your content if it's good value. So share your first post. Third challenge is to share your first article. Do the first 2 within the next 2 days or 3 days, because any longer you're not going to do it. Share your first article within the next week, so by Wednesday next week. And then 4th challenge, last but not least, is 5 by 5 by 5. So I want you to connect with 5 of your friends, send them connection requests. If you're a student, send connection requests to 5 people in the industry, in the position that you want to work in. So if you're aspiring to work for an asset management firm or an investment bank or on the trading floor of whichever investment bank, send connection requests to or connect with 5 analysts or associates in those positions. And it's important to note, Facebook, Instagram, people connect with people they know. LinkedIn, there is that, but it's not unusual to connect with people that you don't know, because if they don't know you and they reject you, that's fine. 9 times out of 10, people are open to networking. They want to connect with students, professionals, whatever it might be, because LinkedIn is a networking platform. So don't think twice about that. Don't overthink it. It's completely fine. You want to broaden your network, especially as a student or graduate. People will know this young person is trying to broaden their network. I'm an industry professional, let me connect with them. But once they do connect with you, make sure you send them a message, thank them, keep it short and sweet, and then try and get a coffee or a catch up with them. Very important. And then send 5 connection requests or connect with 5 people that are completely irrelevant to your career. So it could be 5 founders or CEOs or people that inspire you, motivate you, or people in different industries. Do those challenges within the next 2 days to 1 week and let me know how it goes in the comments. Now, once you do those challenges, I guarantee you will see an increase in the number of times your profile gets viewed. You'll see more connection requests come in. You'll start networking on LinkedIn, which will grow your confidence, which is very important. And then if you consistently do so and you add value to your community, your LinkedIn profile will grow. Now, that's it for today's video. Hopefully those are some useful tips for you to focus on and apply in order to grow your brand and your presence on LinkedIn. If you have any video suggestions or any comments, or if you're stuck on LinkedIn, anything, leave it below. Or if you're stuck on LinkedIn or you're not sure what to do next, or if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions for videos or anything to do with LinkedIn, leave them in the comments below. If you've subscribed to the channel, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you for tuning in every Wednesday. If you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, turn on post notifications. And thank you for getting this far in the video. It would mean the world to me if you can give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.